One of the things I've learned in my time working in the health club industry, either through membership sales, personal training, health club management, after having many conversations with people who were trying to figure out how it is they can make a positive lifestyle change and be consistent with the change, is that it's very important to have a very strong driver for what it is that you're doing. It's very important to understand why you are pursuing this endeavor. And the stronger that why is, the more likely you're going to be to stick with that program. Because let's face it, unless you are a fitness enthusiast, someone who's been doing this for many years, I kind of consider myself one of those people in that category. You may find a sense of fulfillment from your exercises, but for most people, especially for people who are just starting out, fitness is going to be something that is extremely uncomfortable mentally and physically. You're going to need to get up and go to the gym when you would rather be relaxing, or you're tired, you just got off of work, you're taking care of your family, and then physically you're going to feel the aches, the pains, the recovery process may be hard on you, the soreness may be something that's difficult to deal with. I remember the days when I would work out and I would feel sore for a week after an exercise. Now I kind of wish I could be sore to that degree, but starting out, it could be borderline debilitating. And so if you don't have a strong reason as to why this is important to you, then of course, as soon as things get difficult, you're going to say, I'm not working out. What is it that I'm doing it for? There's nothing but pain and loneliness and frustration, and progress is extremely slow. But when you understand why it's important to you, it will help you push through those moments of doubt. And you don't want it to be anything that's superficial. Nobody goes to the gym because they love bench pressing that much. Nobody goes to the gym because they want to visit that Stairmaster every single day. It typically is because exercise, fitness, good health ties in to that future version of themselves that they want to be. Maybe you want to travel and go on vacation, and of course you want to make sure that you are fit enough to do whatever it is that you desire when it is that you are out on vacation. You don't want to go overseas and not be conditioned enough to go on a hike. Maybe you have young children and you're looking down the road and you're imagining playing games with them, running around, football, all of these type of things. And the last thing you want to do is be that person who's sitting on the bench saying, you guys go play, I'll watch you from here. I've heard many people tell me these types of stories, and I would see them be consistent in the gym. Of course, health is a huge factor and something that really drives people as well. I would speak to so many people who spoke with their doctor, and their doctor said, you really need to lose X amount of weight. You're pre-diabetic, and we're concerned about your health and well-being if you don't really get serious about this change. And sometimes people will be scared straight and they don't go anywhere. It's these types of motivators that really keep people consistent. And I know amongst those, something that really helps me is to make fitness a spiritual value. And some people will say, wow, that sounds pretty overstated. But of course, it isn't. And I don't mean in a religious sense when I talk about spirituality. I talk about it by the definition of what it is that nurtures your spirit, what it is that ties to something that is beyond you and greater than you. Honoring my body is one of those values. Being grateful for what it is that I've been given is one of those values. Not neglecting something that many people may wish they had is one of those values. Imagine being somebody who's very sick or somebody who has a handicap and they're thinking, I just wish I had certain physical capabilities again. I desire that so much. And then they look at a person who's physically able and they watch that person just neglect this gift that they wish they had. And so I keep many of those things in mind. And I think about this on a spiritual level. And when I do, it always keeps me driven to keep going, to understand that I have so much to be grateful for just in my able body that I don't want to squander it. And anytime that it's looking at fitness and exercise through the lens of something that is far beyond you, understanding how if you take care of yourself, you're not only fit for yourself, but you're fit for other people as well. It's no different from the parent who wants to be fit to make sure that they're able to exercise or just run around with their children one day, or understanding how through your fitness, if anybody ever needs the assistance, they could count on you. They could count on you to help them carry something, or your friends could count on you to help them move. Your parents can count on you to help them with any of their physical needs as they get older. And it's something that I find incredibly motivated. It switches your perspective from I can't to I don't. If you haven't heard this, I can't means that you're flexible. You know, when somebody is trying to eat clean and they don't want to have that pizza or whatever it is, and somebody's trying to entice you and you're just saying, no, I can't. And of course we know that when you have that sort of limiting belief in it, you're gonna end up giving in. But there's certain things that are such hardcore, deep-driven values of ours that there is no question of can't. It's just a matter of don't. I, for example, for spiritual purposes, I don't eat meat. I've been like that for a very long time. And there's nothing that anybody can do to entice me in that way. And I'm not telling anybody what their diet should or shouldn't be, but nobody could put this type of food in my face and I'm saying, I can't, please. And at the same time, I'm saying, yeah, recommend it to me one more time so I could go ahead and go in. No, I don't. There's nothing you could do or say that could make me change my mind. I've never been a soda drinker. When I look at the billboard ads and I'm constantly seeing all of these things, there's nothing they could show me that would make me want a soda. And so I just find this type of reinforcement, however it applies to you, to be extremely powerful. And so just look at how we can make these sort of changes to our mindset in order to keep us driven for something that's positive. I was watching the Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance, and it is a great documentary for anybody who hasn't seen it. And Michael Jordan would explain how to get a competitive edge, he would think about how somebody slighted him, and he would use that slight to make sure that he was performing at his best. And there was a story where somebody didn't even slight him. Somebody he claimed said, good game, Mike, in kind of a dismissive way. And he took that to say, okay, I'm going to show you. And he went out and had a great game. And then years later, he said it didn't even happen. He just made it up to reinforce his mindset to go out there and do his best. And now we don't have to lie, but we can motivate ourselves by reinforcing our own mindset in a way that's going to inspire us to do something that we know is going to be to our benefit. And I always find that a spiritual reinforcement is one of the best ways that you can do that. That's all I got for this one. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video.